Hello, my name is Samir Sood. I'm one of the med students. First off, I wanted to thank the entire conference, the entire AAPS, and Jeremy especially for arranging the, 20 of us to come out here from all across the nation to experience this conference. I think on the first day, Dr. Madrigal asked us, or told us that we would be asked what we learned from this conference, and I want to give us the opportunity to tell you guys what we did learn. For me, I learned a ton, starting with day one, quickly realizing how little I've learned in the classroom in terms of things that actually matter. I learned the biochemistry of DNA and all that, but what I didn't know is how much or how difficult it is to start a practice and to come into the field of medicine. And it's kind of sad that a lot of my classmates probably won't get this experience, and I was definitely blessed to so shortly. I'm a first-year med student, 2 months in, so shortly into my career to get this experience and learn from wise doctors like yourselves. And thank you for sharing your experiences with me, and I will definitely spread your word and hopefully exemplify some of the things you've said to me.
Hi guys, my name is Smit Bhimani. I'm from UMDNJ as well, so the School of Osteopathic Medicine in New Jersey. And again, I want to definitely thank Jeremy. He's done so much for us, last minute flight changes and everything from hotel, everything's been set up so perfectly. Thank you for having us out here. And like Samir was saying, I've really realized how much our education is lacking and how one-sided of an education we are getting. And I think I was talking to a few doctors outside when I said that we always talk about informed consent with our patients. But as physicians, we are not seeing that at all. I am not informed to the least, and that's where you guys come in. So if we realize how important it is for our patients, I think there has to be some sort of education for us, because we're never given the option of this. There is cash-based practices in today's very poorly structured society that we are in right now, and we don't think that can exist. And seeing people that are actually viable and doing that is an inspiration. And hopefully, like you said, we're definitely going to help promote the club. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Tom Boone. I'm a third-year medical student at the University of Cincinnati. And this has been, as Samir said, an absolute blessing to be here. Michael and I started the Benjamin Rush Society chapter at our school last year, knowing that, unfortunately, our side is not presented in medical school. It seems to be fairly universal across the country, and we wanted to give our fellow students a chance. And the things that we've learned here, we're definitely going to take back. The collaborations we've built with our fellow students, with a number of you as physicians, hopefully getting to bring some of you into our school, and I'm sure some of the other schools as well. We look forward to working with you, learning more from you. Probably the two biggest things that I took away from the conference was that you're responsible only to your patients. You aren't responsible to any other third party. Insurance companies, hospitals, you're responsible to your patients. That was probably the biggest thing I took away. The second thing I took away, as somebody who's interested in, at least at this young point in my career, possibly surgery, I wasn't sure what options I would have besides working for a large group, or worse yet, having to settle and work for a hospital. And seeing the success that Dr. Brown's had with her practice, Dr. Smith's had with his center, it's such an inspiration to know that a truly free area that you can provide the best quality care and genuine value to your patients, that's still possible in this country. It's very refreshing, and I'm so looking forward to going back to school and continuing my education. Thank you.
My name is Ryan Eggers. I'm a fourth-year MD, MA in bioethics student at Loma Linda University, and which now you know a little bit about Loma Linda University. And I was a little embarrassed to hear the story of what Loma Linda University is doing for profit and what's ultimately good for the patients. And I'd like to think that if I was actually at school while that was going on, that things might have gone a little bit differently. but I'm not quite at that level of influence yet, but it's still a learning process. And I thank the Crispin brothers for giving us that excellent presentation. One thing that I've learned here, I got involved in the California Medical Association and the AMA right away as a freshman. And one thing that I've learned from them is that a lot of physicians try to wrestle for the stick of force that is government. And they're trying to produce the best practice for themselves using force, initiation of force. And I didn't like that. And the other mentality that is in the AMA is this idea that there's a population and the good of a group of people ignoring the individuals in the process. And what I've learned from this conference is that there are physicians out there who care about the individual, that it's about you sitting across a room from your patient, and it's the two of you making a decision about what's best for them, and that nothing should get in the way of that. And I don't find that in the AMA, and I don't find that in the CMA, but I find it here, and I'm so glad to have experienced this, and I thank all of you for contributing to bringing us medical students here on scholarships. Thank you so much for that. And it's really motivated me to start a chapter on Loma Linda's campus of the AAPS.
Michael Birch from the University of Cincinnati. And one of the most impressive things that struck me this week is that we basically all have the same goal, everyone in this room, which is essentially to protect the doctor-patient relationship and to prevent the government from getting in the way. But there's not just one specific way that you can go about doing that. And to see folks who are involved in politics, and entrepreneurs and innovators all sort of attacking this problem from different angles was the most impressive thing to me and the thing that I'll take away the most from it. And again, I really appreciate the opportunity to be here.
My name is John. I'm from Texas A&M University, and I, like the others, want to thank Jeremy and all of you for helping to bring us here. I know it's not cheap to bring 20 people to a conference for free, so thank you for that. I think one of the biggest things that I've learned from being here is that ideas have consequences. And when you start with a bad idea, you end up with bad consequences. And here we have a physician group who are promoting very good ideas to bring good options to their patients, to protect the sacredness, if you want to say that, of the patient-physician relationship. And you're really putting yourselves out on the line as you do that, because these are not openly mainstream ideas in the medical community right now. So I think another lesson I learned is that it's very important to be courageous and to have integrity as you go about your work. And I've certainly seen that in a lot of the physicians I've talked to here, that principles and sticking to your guns when it's important is very important as you start to spread these ideas to the rest of the community. So thank you all for that.
Good afternoon. My name is Anthony Rass. I'm a first year at University of Medicine and Dentistry of New Jersey, School of Osteopathic Medicine. The number one question that I keep getting is what got me interested in AAPS? And to settle that, my answer is that I was looking for a place to apply leadership. I wanted a place where innovation and entrepreneurship is accepted. It's not kind of looked down upon, and where the idea of how do we get more people, how do we get better care to them, how do we provide quality care, and how do we make it affordable, we don't get uncomfortable by looking at that. And I see when I talk to that with other students, they brush it aside and they say, oh, it's okay, someone else can worry about it. No, we have to worry about it. So like I said, I was thirsty for a place to look at leadership and to apply that. And again, I want to say thank you to all of you who have reached out to us, and I'm still thirsty, so I'm looking for more, and I'll be back. So thanks again.
Hi, I'm Brittany Keim. I'm a third-year law student at Indiana University, and I'm not a spy, though some of you have wondered, what is a law student doing here? And I think that having law students here is a great thing, this just to learn, because as someone who wants to work with physicians and wants to work in the healthcare industry, how can you understand your client? How can you know what they want until you hear what are the things that bother them? And I think being here and learning all the different options. You don't have to advise clients to sell out and join the system, because there are other options, such as keeping a free market medicine system and doing things on your own, and you can be successful, and there are ways to do it, and this was very beneficial in that sense, and I thank you so much for the opportunity to come here, and I hope that we can get more law students involved in just seeing it from this side instead of from the academia and from the way that we're often taught in the education system. So thank you again for this opportunity.
My name is Michael Bratcher. I'm also a 3L law student at Indiana University, and I first of all want to thank Brittany for tuning me into this conference, because without her suggesting that I look into this, I wouldn't be here and be able to enjoy all the great ideas and the wonderful people. So first of all, thank to Brittany, and thanks to you guys as well, and of course to Jeremy. But the thing that I took away from this weekend is a sense of admiration and a desire to instill in my own generation what I found exists in previous generations, and it's the proper blend of passion and civic responsibility. Because there are a lot of people in my generation that are very passionate and have desires and goals and great agendas, but don't know how to implement that in a working democratic society. And it's the people that have gone before us and have laid the groundwork and the footsteps and blazed the trail that show us how we can blend what we're passionate about and what we care about, and how to mold our future through civic responsibility and participation. And that maybe the ideas and the excitement itself isn't enough. And so, and coming from a law school where everyone's into politics and we have that side down, maybe I can learn the passion, finding something that you're truly interested about as a person, because instead of being able to argue both sides because you're a law student and you should be able to see both sides, maybe there is a right side. And maybe you have to take the civic responsibility and implement perhaps a real right side. So thank you for showing me the proper blend of both, because it's truly a wonderful learning experience.
I should have picked a better spot in line. I think there's really not much else for me to say. Or maybe that is the reason why I picked this spot in line. But anyway, I'm Jason. I'm from the UMD&J School of Osteopathic Medicine. Some of you may remember me from last year, and Tom and Annie, who was also here. I'm a third-year student as well. And well, I mean, what else is there to say? I mean, this is a group of people who basically paid for most of us all to be here. And what does that actually say about you guys? It says that you guys care about us in a way that I don't really think anyone at our own schools cares about us. I mean, they'll charge us tuition to basically, you know, they're nice professors, but we feel like we get beaten down. We get the creativity, the ingenuity, the idealism, and whatever we've learned about free markets prior to med school, we get that beaten out of us too, in some sense, by not being even offered an alternative at our schools. So that when we come out as fourth years, as newly minted interns, we're not just minted with our degrees and with this medical knowledge, but we're minted in the image of this system that has been largely successful in making exactly the kind of students, exactly the kind of doctors that it needs to perpetuate what's been created. And that goes not just on the business side of things, but even on the medical side of things, where our knowledge is really, by and large, just the mainstream, conventional, here's what we pretty sure works, and here's the one-size-fits-all model you're going to apply to all your patients. I mean, just even today, this morning, we were having a conversation with Dr. Heeb and one of the students about a medical condition and her ideas of how to treat the medical condition, and it has some physiological principles that I learned in school, but none of the actual application aspects. And I mean, so just in that one 15-minute conversation, it's a conversation I never had in any of the hospitals, never had in the school. And, you know, why is that? And that's a problem. And I think that's one of the big things that can appeal to a lot of the average students and that you might come across is that a lot of you have unique
a unique set of knowledge, whether it is about the business aspect, whether it's about alternative care aspects, or if it's about the compassion aspect. And to that end, I want to definitely thank Dr. John and Alita Eck for bringing me into the AAPS fold, 2 years ago when I was volunteering at their clinic, and pouring into me their love and their knowledge and their model of compassion, based out of what they have learned from the Bible and from God, and it's just amazing to see the results from that, and it's amazing that they continue to be here. They continue to, every time I talk to them, it's like another lesson, and it's another big bolus of knowledge, if you will, and it gives me and it gives us all the inspiration to stop towing the line on all these different philosophies, because what they tell you is that you toe the line, you toe the line, you toe the line, you're the tugboat and the big behemoth ship that you're dragging along behind you until everything just starts sinking, and then what? I mean, really, we see the ship sinking, we're just rearranging the furniture. You either jump ship or you stay on, and so that's it for me, but thanks again.
Everybody, for those of you who haven't met, I'm Tom Eck, the son of Dr. Eck. I'm a Yale intern right now, but I really appreciate the opportunity to be here. And I think if there's one thing, I've had the benefit of growing up around these ideas my whole life, and I just feel like the best thing about being here is that I just feel re-emboldened to sort of spread this good news to the people around me. And I feel like even at Yale, I run into attendings all the time who really feel that they really feel oppressed almost, but they don't really know. They have this frustration, but it's not really articulated. And I feel like that's my opportunity to go forward and give them some answers and hopefully show them the way. And I feel like a lot of physicians sort of have a passive mentality. I can see how they can get that. As an intern, my survival instincts definitely turn on, and I see how you just you take it. You have these regulations and these new requirements, and it's something that I realize that we need to take a more active role and fight that. So I think if there's anything that I've learned here, especially, it's that I need to have a more active role and be more self-empowered to go forward.
Hi, for those of you who haven't met me, my name's Annie Ferguson. I'm from New Jersey, and I want to thank everyone for the opportunity, for you guys who sent me here, basically. And I think from what I learn is just courage. What comes to my mind first is I just finished my sub-I, and I'm a fourth-year medical student, and being with attendings who are not of this view, it can be very frustrating, and it can be, you get disenchanted with the whole system, and you kind of want to just shut down. And I think coming here just re-empowers me to not be quiet, even though it's scary sometimes to do that. But yeah, it just gives me courage and talking points to take back that I have, I feel more knowledgeable and able to speak back to people when they come at me with ideas, and I can, say, well, why don't you think about it this way instead? And also to my fellow students, so I take from it. So thank you.
Hi, I am Mark Ard from Loma Linda, and this has just been an awesome opportunity to learn from all of you. I started out wanting to be a doctor, getting into medical school, loving the science of it, and then being scared to death of being a doctor. And when you talk to physicians that are disenchanted, disheartened, and when you talk to doctors that encourage you to not go into their specialty, and that just breaks your heart. And then to not even know that something like this exists, to get this invitation, have an opportunity to talk to and hear from all of you guys, it's been great. And it encourages me to go into practice and have integrity as a doctor, and it's been great to hear how you guys do that. And It makes me look forward to not only being a physician treating patients, but also helping move medical care in the right direction, and that is back to that patient-physician relationship. And that's what I look forward to. I look forward to working with all these fellow students and taking it back to my school and getting more people involved and letting them know that this type of society exists, that there's a place that supports these ideas that we talk about when we're in study rooms frustrated with our future, that there's an organization that does it. So I thank you for that opportunity.
My name is Phil Eskew. I'm a first-year family medicine intern, and AAPS is the reason I continue to be optimistic about the practice of medicine. It's just that simple. I've been involved with a lot of organizations, and you guys are the ones who get it right on almost everything. I enjoyed the conference last year. I've had a great time this year. Thank you very much for this opportunity. The one thing I can add that hasn't been talked about yet was that I loved our discussion of board certification, and quite frankly, I'm wondering whether or not I should do it once if I'm never going to bother doing it again. So that's my debate right now.
Thank you, guys. Thank you so much for coming. Wow.